Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Steve Dan and this is my guitar. If you've just joined us, we are looking at West Coast Blues by Wes Montgomery. We are approaching the end of this now. We've got 2 more episodes to go and then I'm going to post the full length version. This week is episode 8 and we are looking at the last of the octave solos. Next week we're going to be looking at his chordal solo. This is where it starts to get really, really tricky towards the end. But this week we're going to be looking at his last octave solo. There's lots in here, lots of pentatonic lines, lots of lessons on phrasing. There's some Lydian dominant in there as well. And there's some nice phrases at the end using some slides, kind of going laterally up the fretboard, which is really useful in your playing. So I'd like to get really quickly into this. So here's all the blurb very quickly. If you would like to get the transcription and the backing track for this series and any other series that's on my YouTube channel, then head over to Patreon. The link is on the screen and in the notes below. It's www.patreon.com/Exeter Guitar Lessons. And I'd like to say a big thanks to all my patrons that have signed up this last couple of weeks. So thank you to Dennis, Eddie, Jazzminded, John, Alessandro, Stefan, Walter, Rolando, Mike J, Nils, James, Reed, Miles, Rob, and Marty. Quite a lot of you signed up in the last couple of weeks, so clearly the last episode went well. Thank you very much for all your support. If you want to support and you don't want to do a subscription, then there is a Buy Me a Coffee link below. And if you don't want to do any of that, then I still really appreciate a like and a subscribe. And don't forget to drop a comment if you've got any questions or you just want to say thanks. And apart from that, let's get on with the episode. So let's have a look at the first 4 bars of this chorus. Here we go. Okay, so this is fairly simple for the first 3 bars. It's literally just the B flat minor pentatonic. That's all it is. And we've added the blue note in there as well. So technically it would be the B flat minor blues scale. So very, very simple. Here's that blues scale. And don't forget to do lots of very Wes slides from the 4th note into the sharp 4 flat 5 blues note. So lots of that stuff in there. So starting off very, very simple. And his phrasing here as well, he's really leaning on the tonic here. So there's all that kind of stuff there. It really does add to the swing. So don't forget to do some more of that there and there as well. When he gets to the 2-5, the tritone 2-5, more on that in the episode 2, if you want to take a look at that, and also episode 1 as well. We touch on it, on the theory of it. So here, basically, what he's doing is he is outlining using an E7 arpeggio. So basically, what he's playing here. So the beginning part of it is an E7 or technically an E13 because we've got the presence of this note here, the C sharp. But we've got the tonic, 13, back to the tonic, and then the flat 7. And then, interestingly, he actually uses the F sharp minor 7 arpeggio. Remember, he's used this before. In my other series on D natural blues, he used this all of the time. And basically, the F sharp minor 7 arpeggio brings out the 9th, 11th, 13th. And also, the tonic as well in there as well. So 9th, 11th, 13th, and tonic. Here are those 2 arpeggios, E7 and F sharp minor 7. And as always, here's an example of me using Wes's harmonic, rhythmic, and melodic techniques, but in my own way, and I encourage you to do the same. So here's that. Okay, let's take a look at the next 4 bars. Here we go. Okay, so the next 4 bars is a masterclass in phrasing. So he's basically using this phrase to begin with here. So So da 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 da, and then he moves it down as we go down chromatically with the 2 5s that never reach the 1. He actually uses the same line and then slightly doctors it in the last 2 bars. And this is how I teach all my pupils. I talk to them about how monks in Gregorian chant, quite a random sidestep here, but monks who would sing Gregorian chant, they would, the way that it's composed is this question and answer phrasing. You'd have a question phrase, and then you'd have an answer phrase, and then another question, and then you'd have an answer, but the answer on the last one, so the 4th quarter, would be ever so slightly different. It would wrap everything up in a cadence. Now, obviously, that didn't happen every single time, but if you look back at a lot of Bach chorales and also a lot of Gregorian chant music and choral music from the Renaissance period, then you're going to hear a lot of this call and response stuff, and it does echo down the centuries from there, that we have this kind of call and response and repetition and then a cadence at the end of the repetition. And this is exactly what Wes does. What he's using, though, theoretically and harmonically, to begin with, is an E-flat Lydian dominant scale, which is this. And then he chooses to use a little bit of the E-flat minor arpeggio as well, followed by a G-flat arpeggio there. So again, that E-flat minor 7 arpeggio over the top of the E-flat minor outlines that chord perfectly. And then over the top of the A-flat 13, he chooses to use a G-flat arpeggio, a tone down, again, something that he's used before, and you can see that in the series on D natural blues. What that brings out is the flat 7, the 9, the 11, and again, the flat 7. So all of that kind of stuff there, he's using different arpeggios, albeit a tone or a whole step down, just to bring out those extensions, those kind of spicy tones. So try that in some of your playing as well. The last thing that we see over the top of the C sharp minor to F sharp is the C sharp Dorian. And here's the C sharp Dorian scale. So this line here is all C sharp. And again, you know, I've been mentioning this the last few weeks, but, you know, with these 2 5s that are going down chromatically, the best way to phrase is to use a similar phrase with each one and try and, you know, kind of doctor it each time so that it's not repetitive, and then round it off with some kind of cadence. Obviously, the main cadence that you're moving towards is the C minor, which is coming up in the next 4 bars. But the thing that you see here as well, and I've been saying this for a few weeks, is the fact that you can't always refer to each chord in your solo. So you have to pick one or the other because it's going by so fast. And a lot of the times, Wes actually picks the 2. He's chosen the C sharp minor to fixate on, and he's using the C sharp minor Dorian scale. And here, as always, is an example of me using Wes's techniques, but in my own way. Here we go. Okay, let's take a look at the last 4 bars. Okay, so this is one of my favorite Wes lines so far in this piece. It's basically so simple. It's taking the C minor 7 arpeggio and then does add the 9 on as well. And then comes down in the B flat blues scale, and that's literally it. So very, very simple, very effective. And again, another masterclass in phrasing. He's using a repetitive idea, so this backwards and forwards chromatic idea with each chord tone from the chord. So there's the tonic, the flat 3rd, the 5th, and then the flat 7, and then up to the 9th. And then comes down, obviously, in the B flat minor blues scale, as we know. Here's an example that you can use where it basically kind of takes it to the nth degree and takes it all the way up the fretboard. Here it is. So you can see that I'm using the normal 9, and then I go up to the 11th, and then up to the 13 as well, and then back up to the tonic. And as always, here's an example of me playing over this entire 4 bars. Here we go. Okay, well done if you made it through all of that. Apologies for some of the sound quality with the cars going by and the general kind of background noises outside. Here in the UK, it is so hot, it's ridiculous. And I'm finding out that in this new cottage here, no air conditioning, so not like you Americans watching. It's just so hot upstairs in my studio, so I have to have the windows open even when I'm recording. So sorry for some of the noises, but it gives you some idea of where I am placed in the world. Don't forget to try, as always, to use Wes's rhythmic, harmonic, and melodic ideas, but in your own way. The backing track is there for a reason, for you to learn and play what Wes plays, but also to have a go on your own and improvise and use his ideas so that you're not just learning it parrot fashion. I'd love to hear some of your solos, so if you're on Patreon, please do message them to me, email them to me. I'd love to hear them, and I can give you some free feedback. Also, don't forget to check out the other tiers on Patreon. I do offer a service where I can transcribe a solo for you. I can make a backing track for you. That's a bespoke cost, so you'll need to DM me and let me know what it is that you want me to make a backing track of, and I can try and do that, and I can give you a quote for it. And also, you can get a guitar lesson with me as well. So have a look at those tiers on there, and happy practicing on this tune. And I look forward to seeing you next week for the first of the last 2 episodes in this series. Take care, happy practicing, bye.